Hello everyone, Steve here with another tabletop baseball unboxing video. I'm actually here with my friend Peter, who is visiting for the weekend. He and I worked together on creating some card sets for certain baseball games. And so we thought we would get together, and so we're having an enjoyable weekend. So what I have in front of me here is obviously a sealed box. And without further ado, I'm going to just open it without telling you what's in it. So I'm going to try to open this without cutting it. No, I have not been working out, but I did successfully open it. It looks like we have some Ziploc bags, some envelopes, and History Maker Baseball. And I think Play.con is going on this weekend, so what better time to get History Maker Baseball. So I've done a couple videos on History Maker Baseball, mostly about how you can make your own cards. And I have some of the game materials, like the result booklet and so on, but I never really had the actual game in complete form. And to be honest, it's because I really wasn't sure it's a game I would want to play. My opinion up till now has been that History Maker Baseball would be a good game for a fictional league. It would be a good game for head-to-head play. But it's probably an adequate game at a minimum for traditional tabletop baseball as well. So it's definitely a clever game design. So with that, we're just going to see what's in the box. So it's nicely packaged, as you can see here. Copyright 2020. And more envelopes. So this is the game action booklet. If you're not familiar with History Maker Baseball, you roll 3 dice. You read them in a certain order. And basically the flow of play goes from left to right here: pitcher, batter, fielder. And then there's a lot of supplemental charts for the various aspects of the game. I am not going to try to explain History Maker Baseball. There are many other videos that do so. It's a very unique game. It's more about the narrative of the events, although you do end up with play results like any other game. That's the booklet. I think I already have this booklet, but now I have 2. Here's the instruction book. I may or may not have ever seen the actual instruction book, but it's just a black and white booklet. Pretty straightforward on how that works. They do sell a separate book or booklet that lets you create your own cards. It's a guide. It's not an exact formula book, but check out my other video if you're interested in that. Before we look in the envelopes, let's take a quick look at what else we got here. Here's some ballpark qualities, which is interesting. It's got the city name, the park name, the dates, the surface, it's grass or turf, and impacts for right-hand batters and left-hand batters. I honestly don't know how that works, but it's interesting that they have that. Looks like some supplemental charts here. One of the things they have, a qualitative aspect of the game, is, what's the clubhouse mood? Is it sunny or stormy or what have you? And that can affect some of the ratings of the players for the game. There's weather charts, and that can affect the gameplay. So So that's kind of cool. This is just a playing surface where you can put the player cards, as well as it looks like it has some bunt and hit and run and extra base and stolen base rule reminders. This looks like the game actually incorporates, if you want, incorporates umpires into the game. And so this is where you would lay out the umpire cards and figure out what the impacts of the umpires are. This person looks like they played one game. It looks like maybe they used, I was gonna say maybe they used fictional players, but it's very possible that they basically mixed and matched lineups and made fictional teams, but with real players. Because it looks like over here, it looks like they have Tony Womack and some pitchers down here. This might be Esteban Loaiza, Ricardo Rincon. Who knows? They also, looks like they have some kind of other score sheet format that they give you. Sorry about this. I think this sheet, if I'm not mistaken, is if you have a normal baseball card, you can use that baseball card to play History Maker Baseball. And I actually did a video on this topic, so I would refer you to that. Okay, what do we have here? History Maker Baseball strategy cards. So this says bunt attempt, manager coaching tip, walk to pitching mound, attempt to stolen base, hit and run. Kind of interesting. Again, I'm not the one to provide a demo or a tutorial on how to play this. Fortunately, there are tons of them out there. Here's New York Yankees, 1955. And my friend sitting next to me is a Yankees fan. So looks like a stadium card. This looks like it's about an inch wide and maybe 2 inches tall at most. So it's kind of very small. And then this is 1955 Yankees. And this happens to be a pitcher. The pitchers have their pitching qualities on the left-hand side and their batting qualities on the right-hand side. Whereas here's McDougald, probably didn't say his name right, but here's his batting characteristics and fielding characteristics and so on. So that's that. This says 1955 umpires. Apparently, automated umpires were in place in 1955 because this envelope is empty, way ahead of their time. One of the reasons why I bought this set was I think it has all the 1975 teams, which is a very interesting season as far as I'm concerned. Kind of the heart of the Big Red Machine. My friend and I were just talking about the Reds, where somebody was saying that they weren't all that good, and of course that's BS. But obviously you have the familiar players: Riverfront Stadium, Pete Rose, rest in peace, Merv Rettenmund, previously on the Orioles, Dan Dreesen, Terry Crowley. This looks like some of the backups. Joe Morgan. He's got a patient thing here, which I think means he drew a lot of walks, which I think was true. Johnny Bench, he was obviously a power guy, so he has a slugger indication, or semi-slugger as it's called, and a semi-home run king, but he also struck out a bit, so he is a semi-whiffer indication here. But he has a gold, or a semi-gold fielding rating, so we know he was a good fielder. So that's the Reds. Brooklyn Dodgers, 1955. I think that's the one year that they beat the Yankees in the World Series. They lost the next year to the Yankees in 56. Yeah, so here's the Red Sox, 1975. Some generic players, some 1975 umpires. So they must have decided the automation was not working. So here you have an umpire card. I've never studied umpire cards, but it looks like his two characteristics are respected and lenient, or semi-lenient. So that can work into the play results. To be honest, I have no clue how they assign those ratings. Pitcher batting cards, although I'm not sure why they need those because the pitcher batting is right on the pitcher card. Empty cards. That would be the card if I were in the Major League. And then we have, as I said before, we have a whole boatload of envelopes. And here we have the 98 Brewers, 98 Mets, 98 Phillies, 98 Pirates, something I would be interested in. More 98 teams. More 98 teams. More 98 teams. More 98 teams, 98 umpires. So it looks like I got the complete 98 set. I forgot exactly what I bought from this guy. And then the two World Series teams for 1975. The last thing I'll mention without belaboring this is these look like the original materials, dice, and so on that they provide with the game. There's 3 markers probably for the base runners. And then the game is driven by 3 6-sided dice, which if I recall correctly are red low to high. Regardless of color. And then there is this, it's a split die or a decider die, I guess you could call it. And 3 sides are blank and 3 sides are dots. And you saw on the cards there were some qualities, player qualities, that had a dot beside them. And so if the dot comes up on this supplemental die, then that quality applies. And if the dot doesn't come up, if it's a blank, then the quality does not apply, and you move on to the next stage of the booklet. So without belaboring this, this was today's unboxing. Like I said, I will probably attempt to play some games with this engine and give it a fair shot. And the price was right. It was really cheap, and the guy didn't even charge me shipping. So there we have it. If I decide it's not for me, I'll be shipping it on to some other person who really would use it better than I. So thanks for listening. I'll catch you later. Bye.